Hi, I'm Katie North, founder and CEO of North Financial Advisors. Today we're talking about ways to build financial resiliency. This is an important topic, of course, because with a global pandemic and all of the things we all have going on in life, it's always important to think about ways in which we can withstand the unexpected. And that's exactly what resilience is all about. The first thing I would say when you're thinking about building resilience is to start looking at self-reflection. Think through your experience with money in the past. What was it like as a kid? What are some of your earliest memories? What are some of your best and worst financial moves that you think you've made in the past? As we reflect and look at some of the experiences that we've had with money in the past, it often gives us a little bit of perspective to think through how we might approach things in the future. Not only that, but when something scary or unexpected comes up in the future, we may be more willing and able to look at it through the lens of what we've experienced in the past and not let that impact us so much, right? Not let us get into the avoidance mentality that so many of us face or victim mindset. I see a lot of people coping with, overspending or even underspending as a tool to try to take back a little bit more control in their life when they feel like things are out of control. So self-reflection is really important so that we don't default to some of these coping mechanisms, right? The second thing I would say is it's really important to seek information outside yourself. I love this technique. It's called the Pomodoro technique, where you take 20 minutes, set a timer, and you try to make an attempt to get something done, right? So we can do this with our finances, right? We can do this by setting a timer saying, okay, I want to learn more about retirement account options. I want to learn more about how to read my insurance policy statement. I want to learn more about interest rates right now, either for mortgages or for emergency fund savings. Tomato timer in, okay? Set a 20-minute timer once a week. Start trying to get at the information that you're looking for and seeking to build your knowledge and understanding of some of these topics. You can also reach out for help, right? I mean, there's lots of information on the internet, lots of books, all sorts of resources, right? But you can also seek help directly from a fee-only financial advisor because we do a lot more than just advise on investments. We can advise you on every aspect really of your financial life. And it can be somebody who's there with you, a partner, to help you think through and be a sounding board on all the decisions that you have to make. So the third thing I would say is it's also really important to build financial buffers. And, I think one of the key problem areas that I see for people is that they live their financial lives in a very reactive way. All in one month, who could have predicted the unexpected nature of, Billy chipping a tooth, the hot water heater going out, and a car repair coming up, right? Yes, it's those things we couldn't have predicted that those things would all happen maybe in one particular month, but we can predict that stuff like that will happen in our lives. We can predict that emergencies come up, whether it be health related, whether it be, car or job related. There's all sorts of things that we have to consider as a contingency, the things that might happen. And so a financial buffer, really all it is just a set aside amount of money, right? And as financial advisors, we often suggest it should be 3 to maybe 6 months worth of your basic expenses, the things that you would only pay, the things that you would pay for if one or both of you in your family lost your job, right? If you've got a nice buffer that covers those expenses for 3 to 6 months, you're going to be able to cover stuff like a kid needing a new iPad or, a maintenance issue, a tire going out on your car. You're going to be able to cover those things. You're going to be able to cover a deductible on an insurance policy if a tree falls on a window in your house. That is a major, major way to build financial resilience, is to have financial buffers. And, an emergency fund is a great other term for that sort of a buffer. The final suggestion I will say is that it's a good idea to explore. And what I mean by that is we often don't give ourselves enough time or credit or attention to goal setting and thinking through not only where we've come, what we've done, but where we're going and what we'd like to achieve and what we'd like to do. And, sometimes we just don't give ourselves the time to do that. But I think the more we spend time thinking strategically about our lives, our plan for ourselves, the things that we want to do, the things that we want to do with our loved ones, and how we communicate with our loved ones, the more financially resilient we'll be. And the reason why is because the more prepared we feel, the more knowledge that we have, the more we feel like we're in control of the situation, the more financial resilience that we will end up having, right? The more resilience to changes we'll have. And so I really encourage you to just take time for yourself to explore all of these areas.